Do you want some ideas for using leftover bits from card kits? Hi, I'm Jess from JessCrafts.com and I'm here to help you make the most of your crafty supplies and time. So let's get making. Today I have the January 2023 card kit of the month from Spellbinders, and I made 40 cards with this kit and I used up all the pattern paper, but there's still things left. I have some frames, some chipboard frames, I have some die cuts, I have puffy stickers, chipboard stickers, and some cardstock. There is also a coordinating die set that you can purchase separately, which could extend the life of your kit even more if that's something that you're interested in. And I actually will be back with another video with this card kit before the month is out, so I'm really trying to get the most out of it. But at the time that I'm recording, this is what I have left with this kit. And I thought one of the easiest things to do would be to use these frames because they make it really easy to kind of give you a focal point on a card. But I don't have any pattern paper left, so I'm going to pair it with some cardstock. I think that the more colorful frames look fine on this sort of ivory cream type cardstock, but I might want to pull in the pink for this last more neutral frame, or the blue. I don't think I want to pull in the yellow or green. I think those are much brighter than what I'm going for. So I think that if I do the pink, everything will feel a little bit more in the same color vein. And yeah, so then these are the same size as a card base. And I can simply embellish around them as much or as little as I want to. I sometimes struggle with really simple cards that don't include pattern paper. Like, I can make a simple card if it has pattern paper because I feel like that usually takes up a lot of the, like, it gives a lot of interest to the card. But when I am working with like a plain background, I struggle a little more to leave things as simple. Once I have my frames, I want to pick out any sentiments that I can find here on the chipboards and the puffy stickers. So I was kind of struggling at this point just because some of these don't read as card sentiments to me. Like plantastic, it would work if it said you are plantastic, but I think it's just kind of like it's an arrow, so it's supposed to be just like pointing to something. But like family time reads to me more like a sentiment that I would put on a scrapbook page. So I'm not going to use those today. All right, so I have congratulations, that works fine. There's this hello sunshine, that would be a great sentiment. I'm thinking about, like, do I just try to cover up, because on this white, or like off-white one, there are some words that you would fill out, like if you were to record something about the Polaroid. But I don't really want to use that. So I kind of wondering, should I try to cover it up? Here, if I put this in the corner, that could work out nicely, but some of it's overhanging, and so it might be nice to fill that in a little bit just so that nothing's getting caught on that sticker piece that's exposed. So I can take a little bit of doubled up cardstock and tuck it behind there. And that will make everything a little bit more even and smooth there. So I found this gold foil, not parentheses, they're slightly different, but these little embellishments, and I used that to cover up the words that were there and then highlight my sentiment. And now that I have a sentiment, I can go in and just start embellishing each based on that. So ideally, I'd have something that like referenced sunshine, and so maybe I should be pulling in some of my leftover die cuts, but I also really did kind of want to stick to the things that I hadn't used in the kit yet. So a rainbow and sunshine coordinate pretty well together. I need something that I kind of wanted to be able to pull in the gold again, but I'm not really seeing anything. I mean, there's this little house one that has the gold, but I'm not sure that makes too much sense with the sentiment. Congratulations. This feels like a good place to put a house because that would be something worth congratulating somebody on, you know, the purchase of a new home. So I will add that and I'll make that kind of card. Maybe we can like layer, mean, the 2 houses may be a little bit odd because like they wouldn't be purchasing 2 homes, but it fills the space a little bit better and we don't need to overthink it. And then one more little embellishment. I do want it to kind of overlap, like see how I overlap these two? I'm gonna go in with another piece of cardstock and kind of prop that up. I think that when you have elements like that, causing them to interact with each other really can add a lot to it. And then maybe, feels like not quite big enough in scale, but then this feels kind of too big. I do like that I can kind of pull this stickers on and off and make it work. I think this is probably gonna have to be what I make work because it is the closest to the size that I want. I'm gonna try to get one more card out of this because I have these chipboard frames still. These look like film strips, and I could make like 3 separate cards with them, but again, I told you I kind of struggle with that, like too much white space, and so I want to make maybe a bit more of a full card. I kind of maybe like the idea of the 2 darker strips being on the other, like the opposite ends, because this strip in the middle doesn't stand out quite as much. And then I would be trimming off all these extra bits from the card, and I think that's okay. And then we'll get some embellishments here in the center. I did eventually, when I was recording my 40 cards video, I actually lost the second You Are Loved, and then I found it, and now I'm just going to use one of them anyway, so it doesn't actually matter, but I liked that die cut that was available. And I'm going to move back to the die cuts for this final card because I was unable to find enough of smaller scale things in the chipboard stickers that I had left. And so I'm going to need to add some dimension behind these. I could use the foam tape that came with the kit. There's no particular problem with that. It is a little bit thicker than the chipboard frame, so if you're trying to keep your card on the thinner side, I might opt for just making your own foam tape or using some thinner tape that you have in your stash, just kind of depending on what your needs are. And then I'm going to just sort of be pulling in the different random embellishments I have left as often as possible. I'm probably going to like layer them on top of each other. I'm going to have them hanging off the edges. Like a few of them might be centered like that one, but as you can see, this one's extending over its little box. And so is that, and I will continue to do that often because I think it just makes everything a little bit more interesting for this type of card. When creating a card like this where you're really just kind of putting a lot of embellishments together, I think having defined spaces and then breaking that definition actually works in a really interesting way. So there's like this really repetitive thing with the squares, and that's very neat and orderly. And then I'm like breaking it up in all kinds of ways by hanging things outside of those predefined squares, and I'm kind of keeping some level of cohesiveness in terms of like I chose not to add any blue because they're like the background colors didn't add in any blue, so I kind of kept to the sort of more pink tones. And then this yellow flower winds up popping a lot more because of that, but I didn't want to have too many like pops. And just kind of balancing all of those things is what helps a card that is a little bit busy be a little bit more successful and cohesive. I can pop all of these onto card bases, and I have 4 more cards with this kit. As I mentioned, I'm going to share another video where I feature some items from this kit. So I'll have made about 50 cards with the kit, and I think at this point I'm okay to let go of any extra embellishments. This is part of a Spellbinders blog hop. There'll be a link to my blog in the video description below, and on the Spellbinders blog there's going to be a giveaway, so you'll definitely want to check that out, get more inspiration for using this kit, and check out the other videos if you have it and you want to see what to do. If you found this video helpful, here's another video where you can find more ideas for enjoying your crafty time and supplies. Let me know you like this video with a share to your crafty community. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next template tutorial, and check the video description for product links. See you in the next video.